I guess how far are we? Because I've seen some, I think, YouTube videos about like robotics being used in the field. Like how many years are we away from there being, I guess, robotic soldiers or robotic dogs or whatever? Because I guess you could say area of that would be drones that are mounted with guns that can go in and do field work. But how long do you think until we have like actual robot soldiers?
It depends what you want them to do.
Right.
So
So the robot wars are like 25 years away, but having a robot go in the field and maybe do more reconnaissance is a little bit closer.
there are levels at which it will happen much sooner than later.
Okay.
But the idea of it perfectly replacing a human, I don't know if we'll ever really get there.
Okay.
Because we have in war something, you have attrition and graceful degradation. And graceful degradation is a very fancy way of saying that you're going to go, things are going to, as things attrite, fall back. It always defaults to people hitting each other with sticks, right? And so there's at certain levels, there's going to be, I mean, look at Ukraine. Like they are using some of the most advanced forms of warfare, but they are still punching each other in trenches.
Right.
Right. It always gracefully degrades back to the human factor. And you can have as many robots as you want forward, but once robots wipe each other out, it's a matter of whose robots win over the other one. And then all of a sudden it's humans fighting the robots. But we get really inventive, and there are ways around defeating those things. Everything. There's always an innovative way to solve a problem with low cost means. And robots don't have human intuition. And it'll be a long time before sensors are able to understand and sense things the way that we do. And people don't really appreciate the complexities of the abstraction layers inside of a human's neocortex. And what I mean by that is everything inside of our DNA has evolved to deal with contingencies. Everything in our body adapts constantly. We are constantly ingesting information and then adapting to the way that information is given to us based upon models that we've created off of lifetimes of interactions, as well as the DNA of our evolution that has ingested all of this over time as well. That is so complex. And we think that we see these very elaborate ways in which GPT and robots are expressing things based upon language models, and we're blown away by it. What we are not appreciating are all of those other almost microscopic abstraction layers that are taking place constantly, that are so hard to replicate. And that's why when I see robots in the field, I'm like, that'll be good for this one use case. But will it replace a dog? No. Because a dog has the same development that we do. It can adapt in ways that the robot has to be trained with for years. And right. I'm not undermining certain things. There are certain things robots are going to do way more effectively than people in isolation, but not in entirety.